It's time now for Mark Meets. Let's do it. And tonight I'm delighted to welcome the chairman of the UK Independence Party, UKIP. It's Ben Walker. Now, Ben served in the Royal Navy, seeing active service in the Afghan War, a tour in the Falklands and service across the globe. He's a former county councillor, local authority vice chair and town mayor. He also owns and operates his own successful planning and design consultancy, which operates nationwide. And he's got a big announcement about UKIP. Ben, welcome to GB News and Mark Dolan.
Hello, Mark. Thank you for having me.
Great to see you in the flesh from rural Gloucestershire, is that right?
Yes.
Nice part of the world. Before we get to your big announcement, why does UKIP still matter? After all, we're out of the European Union.
UKIP's always mattered because it wasn't just about our membership of the European Union. It was about saying the right things by the common man and working women, you know, people who can't basically visualise and say what they believe. That was UKIP. That's what we did. That's what we continue to do. And I think there's still a place for us. I mean, we were 30 years old in October just gone.
Well, that's a decent innings, isn't it? Do the parties of the right, Reform, Reclaim, Heritage and UKIP risk cancelling each other out?
Absolutely do. I mean, that's something that's been happening for a while now. There was a by-election, for argument's sake, last Thursday. Reform got 9.1% of the vote. We got 6.4%. If we had combined that vote, we'd have come second, if not first, because it was an independent that won.
Well, 6.4 is pretty impressive,
Absolutely.
Isn't it? So you guys are still a force in politics.
Without all the money and the coverage, yeah, we can still do a job.
And your excellent deputy leader, a good friend of the show and the channel, Rebecca Jane, has been urging the likes of Richard Tice to collaborate with yourselves, work together.
Yeah, I mean, we've been working on that project for some time, and it's a real shame that kind of egos get in the way of the real job at hand. And what we are continuing to try and do, and what we've always tried to do, is, like I said, represent that normal man and woman of the country. And I feel that at the moment, whilst our side of the political fence is fractured, we're not doing the electorate, we're doing them a disservice. We really need to be working together. That's why we've already gone into partnership with the English Democrats, and we have a joint descriptor that we share, so we will not be standing against them to try and reduce the field at election time, and that's called the Patriots Alliance. That's open to any party on the right.
It makes perfect sense. OK, what news do you have for us? I understand you have an exclusive announcement about UKIP.
I absolutely do, Mark, and I've been empowered to fire the starting pistol on a leadership contest.
Now, so Neil Hamilton is the current leader, so Neil is standing down.
Our illustrious leader, Neil, is standing down. For Neil, this year is 60 years in politics.
Amazing.
So, I mean, you know, he is an absolute legend. And, the truth is, we are now, I believe, and so does the party, that an Overton window has opened, if you like. Now, whether that be the crisis with small boats, the cost of living crisis, all the globalism that is now forced down upon people are rejecting it, even if they don't really realise that they are. And we've got to take that opportunity. Now, we believe, with a new leader, new messaging, new ideas, that we can do that. And we're the party with the political record, if you like, the only party that's ever achieved its political aim. We're the party to do that. Now, this election has a twist. Whereas before, historically, it would have been, oh, you have to have been a party member for 3 years. That's not the case this time. It's open to absolutely anybody.
So anybody watching or listening to this show can become UKIP leader if their case is strong enough?
Absolutely. All they've got to do is join up, satisfy the criteria, which is quite small, and then they're in the mix. They're in the running to become leader. It could even pave the way for an application from the housewife's favourite, Mark Dolan. Who knows?
Well, listen, never say never.
No.
That's my career plan B. But I want to ask you, what qualities are you looking for in a leader? Because we know that Neil is a hard act to follow.
He is a hard act to follow. But what we're looking for now is essentially someone who thinks or believes that they have a platform, someone who is the same strong on us on the net zero nonsense, hard on immigration, a flat rate tax bracket for the economy, if you like. Just a small state, small C Conservative who believes in their country, is patriotic and just wants to do the right thing by people.
Have you spoken to Liz Truss?
We haven't yet, but she's more than welcome to join.
There's a whole bunch of clapped-out ex-Tories who would love the gig. What about Boris Johnson?
Hey, who knows? The beauty of this is before that, like, UKIP couldn't really offer any leader anything. It was an unpaid role that really, once you wore the crown of thorns, if you like, it was a hard job. This time it's slightly different as well, because we're trying to incentivise the position of leadership. Right. So whereby we're trying to say, hey, you want to be the leader, that's great. We want you to get donations into this party. If you can do that, we're sharing them with you 50%. So essentially, our leader is going to become a paid person.
That's really good and very invested, quite literally, in the project. What's the timeline? When will the new leader be announced, do we think?
Well, obviously the gun's been fired.
Yeah.
So if you visit our website now, ukip.org, it's there, it's live, the application is there to be used.
ukip.org, people can sign up, OK.
So applications are open until basically the beginning of March. Then we go through the period of hustings and stuff like that, and then the new leader will be announced on the day after the London mayoral election and all the other regional elections.
Fantastic. So that leader will be ready for the national general election, which we're expecting will be November.
We are,
won't we?
We are.
So that's good. Before you go, as a former Navy man, what's your reaction to the news that 2 Royal Navy frigates, Argyll and Westminster, have been mothballed, and the aircraft carriers can't get to the Red Sea because we don't have enough sailors?
I think it's an absolutely disgusting situation that we currently face. And it's not just the Navy, it's right across the board. There's a private company which are responsible for the recruitment, who are failing. Our Navy now, not the men and women who are actually doing a job and putting their lives on the line, but the people who, make the decisions are too bothered about appeasing the French or having an ID card for when you're Derek one day or Doris the next.
Yeah.
And they're just so confused about what they are and what they're doing. They're destroying the service in the process.
Well, you don't sound confused to me. Congratulations on your chairmanship of the party and for being a significant political force. Would you like to lead UKIP? Head to their website, which is ukip.org. And, of course, we'll have the exclusive announcement of whoever wins when it comes to it later in the year.